Sorry, you fucking stunned me there. Oh, God. Mik, do you like my interior design or do you think it's AI?
I wouldn't call it design, but you have a TV on a white wall, which probably reflects your personality. Like it's so complex. It's
Indeed.
minimalist.
Imagine being someone saying something you did is AI when it wasn't.
Yeah, that is actually a very good segue to open up the show. So there was this guy who built a miniature city, and he started posting TikToks, and he built it for his child. And he thought it was like an amazing project because this is not a miniature city in a sense of something that fits on your table. No. This is a thing that you can actually walk through, and the stores and the facades, the roofs actually reach to like your hips. There's like a mini subway, like an actual working train going through the subway. It stops, the doors open, and he put his cat in it. So it looks very cool, but a lot of the people, as soon as they saw it, they were like, oh, this is just AI. And the whole work put into this project was immediately discredited. And that is so sad that now that we watch something, if it's out of the ordinary, if it's something that's surprising us, even though we want to be surprised, we want to have that element of like, oh my God, that's so cool. Suddenly, you have this question in the back of your head, wait, was it just created with one prompt by AI? And it immediately shatters all of the illusions and all of the joy that you could get out of seeing somebody creating something. So the guy had to go and he had to produce videos which are behind the scenes of making of the city. And it's a funny concept that an artist nowadays has to prove that they actually have done the thing in real life. And we've discussed this on previous episodes, but this really drives the point home for Tom Cruise, showing behind the scenes of every stunt that he has done in Mission Impossible movies to prove that these stunts were done for real. Because that's why people want to then go and see the movie. And we are in this world where you cannot really believe anything you see because the AI has gotten so good. And I just don't know what the implications are. So what do you think about this?
That's actually really sad what you said there. You said that we can't believe what we see. How sad is that statement? When you think about it, we can't believe what we see. We can't. That could be from video, from news, from anything, and that's what AI has allowed us. That we have to be so careful now because it's so good. I would feel so disenfranchised if I spent hours, manual labor, building a subway, just talk about let alone the infrastructure, the details. You saw that subway, little handles, doors are open and closed, lighting, and someone goes, yeah, it's AI, bro. And you're just like, I'd be so aggressive in the comments. I wouldn't take it lightly. And I think that's really sad. It's like when a magician does a card trick, right? And you say, oh yeah, he did it like that. Like you know the trick already. It takes the magic and illusion away. And does that now make everyone super on the point that, oh yeah, I know how it's done, AI has done it. Immediately, you're not thinking about, wow, that's really cool. Your first reaction isn't, that's cool, it's AI did it. And that's just losing the magic a bit, that look on people's faces and like, the first time you see, we saw Avatar come out, like, I was in cinema like, wow, like, this is amazing, Now it takes it away, and what does that do for the artist? Does it disenfranchise them? Does it make them work harder? Does it make them think, oh, what's the fucking point then? Should I just do it with AI if people think so? If they're not getting the point?
I think it's the constant conundrum of how do people value effort that goes into something, right? Because if you can deliver a service or if you can make something quicker than somebody else, in real world terms, that actually means that it should be valued more than less, right? So if you go to a plastic surgeon or if you go to a surgeon and somebody can do the same surgery in 4 hours instead of 8 because they have done 10,000 of them, you would actually pay more for the better surgeon that can do it quicker, right? Does it mean there is less effort in it? So do people value the actual outcome? So is the movie good? Then the effort doesn't matter, right? But if something relies on documenting a real life achievement, that's why, for example, sports will never be replaced by AI, because nobody cares about computers competing, right? So we have chess. Chess has been solved, and the best chess players in the world cannot beat even like a second best chess AI engine. So there's no point playing chess in real terms because computers are just better and infinitely better. So why do people still watch chess tournaments? Like, I got into chess this year and I started watching some of the tournament games with Magnus Carlsen. Why? Because of the drama, because of the story, because of you actually see their emotions. You see somebody blunder. You see somebody like who is supposed to be perfect completely crumble because of the pressure, right? And that is the incredible part. You want to see people compete. You want to see the behind the scenes of NBA players, the behind the scenes of Formula One even. Like, I don't understand how people can watch Formula One.
But it's really good. Yeah, cool. You're right, Lon. Yeah. That's right.
At least the American version of racing, which is NASCAR, they go around fucking egg.
I'm going to drive in a circle, and it's that TikTok that guy went, I'm putting my pedal to the metal unless I see a checker flag or guard. You know, he just
But at least, you know, like, you watch this because sometimes there are accidents and sometimes like cool stuff happens, right? So it's about the mistakes, it's about the errors, it's about the competition between people, it's about the lack of perfect execution, I would say. So that's why people watch these things, and that's why you would want to watch real stunts, like Red Bull doing stunts, right? Like,
race.
No, but like, you know what I mean? Like, their channel is built on the fact that somebody is jumping. Like, recently they posted a video, somebody did a backflip from one moving truck to another moving truck. Yeah. And I'm like, there's literally no point to ever doing such a stunt. Like, it doesn't do anything for anyone. But I watched the whole video because I thought it was just actually really cool. I'm like, the storytelling was so good. There was real stakes, right? Like, he landed so close to the edge. It was like 2 centimeters to the right and he would have been off the lorry, right? And that's what makes it exciting, because it's real. So how do we prove that what we film is real to make it more exciting, right?
So I am going to bring this back to our age-old bet that you and I have about actors and AI and filmmaking. So, what you said there, the value of knowing how hard someone's worked, how it makes you want to see it, right? Like I said, what they've done, the process, the effort. So we think about actors. Only because I rewatched Heath Ledger's documentary recently, I Am Heath Ledger, and it's really cool. But it was the big pull on that situation was obviously his unfortunate passing before the film came out, but was the spectacle around how he prepared for that film. And that, a lot of it is what drove people to go watch it, because God, Heath Ledger, like, he locked himself in a room for 6 weeks and he wrote a diary, and then he really became the Joker, and like, that's the process and that's the risk and that's that. So now, with what you said, how are you weighing that up against going to cinema to watch an AI actor, knowing that there was very little effort involved, that it is just a computer mimicking real life actors and emotions? So I would actually say that's actually, I agree with what you're saying there. If I want to go watch a film knowing that an actor has spent months preparing, Daniel Day-Lewis staying in character at home as Abraham Lincoln, as people like staying in character offset or preparing for months through however they prepare, that makes me want to go see the performance.
Most people don't care about this. Like, most people don't really care about the backstory of films. Like, if you asked probably 80% of the audience, they wouldn't know anything about this. And people ultimately care about, is this a good movie? Is it cool? Does it make me think? Does it make me smile? Does it make me feel emotional? I think that's what people really care about. And everything else is nice marketing that actually drives the billion-dollar outcomes, right? So that's why actors do a lot of press. So have you seen this movie with Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin?
Oh yeah, the Real Pain.
Yeah.
Filmed in your home country.
Yeah, it was filmed in Poland. And I watched so many interviews that were shown to me on TikTok and YouTube from the two of them. And because they painted Kieran Culkin as that amazing person in general, artist who just shows up late, who is just so amazingly funny naturally, blah, 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 so effortless, right? And I think that's what actually got him the award. It was the award circuit that they did around it, like all of the interviews. Because I was so hyped for his performance after watching all these interviews. And finally, when it came time that I could buy this movie on Apple TV and watch it, I watched it and I was like, it was good. But it wasn't mind-blowing.
Nice. It was a nice movie, like nice.
Yeah, but
level.
None of that was like Daniel Day-Lewis' performance. Like none of that was, he didn't explore anything new that I haven't seen before, right? So I could argue also the other way around, which is oftentimes we can get trapped with, oh, this actor has put it all on the line and that's why the performance is great. And let's be honest, like, and this is probably blasphemy because I love The Dark Knight, but had Heath Ledger not died before the premiere of the movie, would the movie have done the same numbers? Would his performance be seen the same way as now he's like a martyr? He's like this almost transcendental figure. Yeah, like he became an icon because he died. Kurt Cobain became an icon because he died.
Jeff Buckley.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not like these were insanely talented people, generational talents, but they became icons because of that additional story around them.
So, well, my brain went straight to Austin Butler for Elvis. The PR around him. He can't lose his accent from Elvis, so he's trying to, relearn what his accent was. Same with, I should have cut that actually, I don't know the actor's name. But yeah, it's losing your accent and trying to relearn it, really going into it and getting an Oscar nom. I think that does serve a time and a place for particular performance. I'm not every performance, I agree. Like, Kieran Culkin, definitely not. But
Timothée Chalamet played whatever the fuck his name is.
Bob Dylan. In I didn't watch that film. I couldn't be asked.
I tried to watch it. My wife watched it. I tried to watch it, but that kind of drives the point home, right? That you need to have that connection between there was real life effort, but if that real life effort results in shit movie, then it doesn't matter, right? Like it's not like effort is closely correlated with actual winning. Right? So
true.
There are people that can do effortless YouTube videos or TikToks with just their personality and they spend 17 seconds thinking about something. They make a video and it gets 50 million views and becomes iconic. And then somebody else works on their craft for years, makes a video and it's bad.
No, yeah, I get it. It's like, look at, oh my God, fucking Megalopolis. My brain's gone.
Francis Ford Coppola,
Francis Ford Coppola.
He's recutting it.
I know, yeah, he's recutting it as well. But look at that. It's someone who spent years mastering his craft, big hype around the film, and then bad.
Another example, just to bring it back to Joker. Jared Leto doing the Joker. The whole circuit around that movie was that he went so deep into the character and he was sending death rads to his cast members, right? And it was tragically bad. Then we had Joker 2. Again, the movie's so hyped up. Oh my God, it's going to be this new original thing. That so much effort went into this. Garbage. Right? Because they didn't make a movie for the audience. They made a movie for themselves, similar to Megalopolis, which was made not for the audience, but for the director, right? So I think there are so many factors in here that it's going to be hard to tell. But bringing it back to AI and effort, I think for anything that's based, where the value lies in something being done in real life, is going to be increasingly important for tools like the camera from Sony, that came out, and it bakes a watermark into the file saying this actually happened. This is going to be extremely important that we can prove that something is real, and people are going to value this a lot. People are going to value personal brands a lot. I do not think that AI influencers are going to catch on. I do not think that AI actors in general are going to catch on, because that is the point that you've made and you convinced me over the last couple of months, which is that people want to follow the story behind the real person behind the craft, right? However, are there going to be really good AI movies? Yes.
Eventually.
Yeah.
And that brings me on to Australian filmmaker Alex Proyas. Alex Proyas, he spoke about AI and how he thinks actually now it's an evolution, and how it's the natural way it's going to go, and AI films are just going to get better and better and better. Less about these little 5-minute clips that you and I see on Twitter, Reddit, about look at this cool thing I did. Yeah, that's really impressive, but can you sustain it for a film? He's now saying that actually, we know this, the industry is fucked. The film industry is fucked right now. It's dying. It's oversaturated, over-budgeted, money spilling out everywhere, and it's not really doing much. And people are watching it less and less and less. And he thinks AI is actually the good thing to rebuild this industry. So rather having this like massive pool of production cast and people who are going to make this film happen, well, actually I can take away 80, not even that, he said 75 to 80% of that, have a team of humans, myself as a creative visionary, as a director is what he said, his producers.
Oh, here we go, myself as a visionary.
No, I said him, not me. Do you think I fucking say that? Listen.
Yeah, of course you would say that.
I am not. No, false narrative. I'm not that egotistical. Sorry, I was looking at myself in the camera just now. And he said, it's going to go that way. Where as a director, he still has the creative vision, and then the AI will just be an extension of his human teams to make stuff happen for a fraction of the cost. Where that sits, is it in CGI? Is it in production schedules? Where does AI sit at this point? We don't know. I think that's really, what do you think about that? Like, rather than just like rebuilding the film industry from the ground up and then just inserting OpenAI, inserting Kling, inserting Runway at certain aspects?
I think this is inevitable, because ultimately film industry is driven by the economics of it. And the economics of visual effects didn't make sense for a long time. Visual effects studios are going down, and now again, it's just a new tech that people do not want to embrace straight away. There is a debate right now happening on Reddit because Christopher Waltz made a short statement where he said like, "Oh, CGI is for losers." While sitting next to Guillermo del Toro promoting some kind of a new movie. And,
Frankenstein.
Yeah, they both... Like, del Toro is known for movies with CGI. And it has been it's this story that repeats itself in this industry. When the CGI came along, people were like, oh, using CGI is just a shortcut. It's all about what you can do in camera. Digital, that's not real film. It's only shooting on film. Then any new technology, even today, I was on the cinematography subreddit. And I go there, for me, cinematography subreddit at this point is kind of like going for a tour in a zoo. Because I see those peculiar people who have very, very strong opinions on stuff. And usually these opinions keep them in their cages. Like they cannot really leave. Because there are people who say, oh, YouTubers, remember, YouTubers are usually not the ones that work on set, so they do not know what it means to, be creative. And I'm like, bro, you hold the camera to execute somebody else's vision. You're one of the 1,000 people on set. And then that YouTuber actually creates videos that millions of people actually want to watch. Like, you cannot really compare your creativity here because you're just like a plumber on set holding a camera. That doesn't make you the same level of creative. And then, sorry, that was a rant. But then what they said was about focus pulling. There was a post today saying, oh, do people still look down on autofocus, right? And obviously the cinematographers go like, oh yeah, I always go for a focus puller because it's more natural. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, autofocus is such an amazing tool that's being used everywhere. It frees up. You can execute something with a smaller crew. It's just another tool that you can program. You cannot just say, oh, this is not human. So autofocus, any type of auto exposure, any type of tool that helps you to do your job better, film people are so slow to adopt them because they fear being replaced. And it's very refreshing to hear a perspective like you presented from that guy to say, no, AI, we need to embrace it. Because let's be honest, like that's what's going to happen. The film industry is not sustainable.
No, and it's like, and I think about something a lot, is when you and I worked together and we looked at the Ronin 4D, and just think about that as a camera, right? That is a camera that has kind of replaced the Steadicam to an extent and put it in the hands of more, let's say, middleweight, lower end filmmakers, because you can pick up and play. It's got LiDAR, which helps you focus and not think about it. You've got one person there who can shoot, expose the camera, keep it in focus, and do lovely steady shots on them, right? And that's like, we're like, wow, game changer. I'm using that camera as much as I can now because I know as a single filmmaker myself, that does all the jobs for me. But if I didn't do that, I'd have to get a Steadicam operator, a separate focus puller. He's got to have his AC, I'm like, well, no, you're right. It's, I think...
And you can focus on creative. That's the thing. That right now, if you had to execute the same film with additional 4 people on crew and manage the batteries, manage the startup time of these cameras, if you had to build out a cinema camera to shoot the same thing, you would have to dedicate an hour of your day after you arrive on set to actually just building the camera, building everything, making sure it works, changing lenses. Like, it's so painful. And now you can just focus, okay, guys, what shots are we getting? How are we being creative? These tools, you just take it out of the box, turn it on, and you can shoot. And you just focus on the creative without being bogged down by the technicalities. And I think that's what distinguishes the actual storytellers from plumbers. Like I said, on film set. There are people that just like handling lenses. There are people just like attaching the lens to the camera and feeling on their own set. They're like, oh, I handled the lens as like a third assistant camera operator to another assistant camera operator who then was juggling the lens with the actual operator. Hollywood, baby. And I'm like, in that time frame, we got 7 shots with Ronin 4D, and we're still like at 75% battery while you guys haven't even started.
Do you see that opening shot about the social network about Harvard University? They weren't allowed to get a shot on the grounds, so they mounted 3 cameras on the roof and then stitched them together to make a perfect tracking shot that a crane would do. Paid a clown, a guy in a suit, to have a backpack on that had a light in it, and he walked into the section of the university where he could stand, lit it up, and then keyed the building they wanted and got an indie shot. And like, I think that's what it's going down to. Like, still think like an indie filmmaker. You're on these big budget films where it's oversaturated. No, it's more fun to think like an indie filmmaker. Like some of the shots you and I have got together where in the past lives, like, how can we get that shot? And we've done a shot with the Ronin. We're like, take our last shoot we did. We put a Ronin on a little crane and did this and that. You changed the angle of the like. We've just literally got a crane that is like about 6 foot tall and then goes to 12 foot when we need it. You push it down and operate it. I did the gimbal. 2 of us have done what it takes a team to do. I think that's what it comes down to it with this saturated market of filmmakers who are traditional. No, we do things micro organized and micro steps, but actually no, the fun of it is actually doing it as an indie filmmaker and making the shot happen in the best, cheapest way possible. Don't get bogged down in this.
Yeah, what tells the story? What helps you tell the story the best way? What helps you speed up the process? Like being set up in 20 minutes instead of 2 hours. It just means that you have additional hour 40 to get creative, to experiment more within the same budget. So with AI, if something means that for me to tell the story now, if I want to make a movie with AI, and that means that I can experiment with 1,000 versions of the same shot instead of 3 from one day, like that will just enable different levels of creativity. But again, to bring it back to the beginning of this podcast, it only works for certain content that is assumed fake, which is actors, narratives, any type of short, long form films that do not rely on being real. They can be replaced by AI. But if something needs to prove that there was a person in that place, there was a bunny jumping through that hoop of fire in real life,
trampoline, or bunnies on trampolines, as we saw.
Exactly. If those things are real, that's what makes them fun. If somebody actually jumped between the 2 lorries and did a backflip on a motorcycle, that is fun. If
it's spectacle.
If I saw AI video of this, I don't care. And the same thing, I guess, translates to those. That's why YouTube probably and TikTok blew up so much and they're bigger than television, because it's real stuff. Because I don't care about the most cinematic, perfect execution of the shot of somebody jumping, again, like across 2 lorries, but I care about seeing the actual act. So it's not the quality of production. It's the quality of the story, the quality of the stakes, the quality of, am I invested in this?
The storytelling always comes down to the storytelling.
That's and AI is just
advertising.
And AI is going to help you with executing your storytelling. Like that. That's it.
And it's going to help me now with my new short film that you and I were helping on the side with, bleeding them both together. You know, I wouldn't have said that to you a year ago, would I? Like, I'm going to use AI to do all the fun bits of my film. I would have died on that, but you've changed my mind on it, and we've bled into each other on it. But on the note of spectacle, okay, when you think of casts of thousands, lots of colors, lots of exuberant things going on, what do you think about in terms of film? Bollywood. So we've been speaking recently about an Indian director whose end of his film was recut by AI and the studio didn't tell him. And this has now started the conversation of Bollywood, of do you think it will start going towards that? And I was thinking that Bollywood itself is known for the cast of thousands. Everyone's perfectly in sync. Colors are shooting off, color cannons, lighting's happening, amazing wardrobes that are just mind blowing. And that's what, it's a spectacle. You're like, you can't look away. I watched that film RRR a few years ago. That was like a 3-hour Bollywood, no, not technically Bollywood, but Indian epic. And it was just like that. Couldn't look away. But they've got thousands of people making that happen. Absolutely thousands of people. And then now we're talking about, do you think AI could hit Bollywood? And do you think that spectacle would be as valuable? Would that spectacle damage economically for the crews that would be working in Bollywood industry for years in India? So I'm wondering now, where does that leave the spectacle aspect?
The Bollywood movies are already very heavy in computer graphics and visual effects, and they're pretty crazy. Like, I like how they go over the top, the
physics?
fight scenes.
Physics.
There are no physics. There's nothing needs to make sense, and that's the beautiful part about it, right? So the creativity is there. The creativity is not going to be replaced. It is going to displace a fair amount of population that used to be probably like background actors. That used to be part of the scene. But I don't know. I don't know if the tech is there just yet, but the tech will get there where, the crowds are going to be good enough to replace them. And because of the economics of the industry.
Like Will Smith's crowd, as we've been seeing about.
Yeah, the fake Will Smith crowd. That is, in Bollywood, whether it's Bollywood, Hollywood, Nollywood, you will have people just replaced.
Is there a Polish Pollywood, or is that not a thing?
No, it's not a thing. Nollywood is the Nigerian one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. One of the Apache helicopters. But that's it. Speaking of crowds, did you see the AI Will Smith video?
Yeah. I don't know why. I wouldn't have really noticed that they are AI crowds, but that's because I just don't think they're good videos in general from Will Smith. I just don't know what it adds or what it detracts. Okay, let me pose this question, because I built an AI tool recently that helps me.
I hadn't noticed.
I built an AI tool recently inside of my platform where I wanted the visual from YouTube videos and documentaries that people might be familiar with, where you have multiple newspapers and headlines, and then they're aligned on a specific word. So let's say we're discussing the topic of AGI, and we wanted to convey visually that everybody's talking about AGI. And we cycle through 10 different newspaper headlines with the words, with the letters AGI being highlighted and aligned in one. And it's a very nice visual. And ultimately, the articles themselves don't matter because they're usually blurred. So I figured that the purpose of this narrative tool is to say that everybody's talking and writing about this. So I built a tool that generates with AI random articles with the words that you want them to be in the titles, and it highlights them, aligns them automatically, and in 2 minutes I have that visual with whatever words and whatever articles I want. On one hand, somebody can say, well, those articles are fabricated. And I'm like, well, yes, but it's a narrative device for me to say that everybody's writing about this. It doesn't need to be accurate. So in case of Will Smith, if he wants to show a feeling of what it was like during the concert, and if it was really like that, but they just didn't get the shot that they wanted, the actual shot, then it's just a narrative device for them to produce a video that shows the crowds, right? Like that shows the crowds like what it was like. It's if they called it, oh, this is a reenactment, a recreation of the feeling. This is a storytelling device. That would be great. But if they pass it on as, hey, this is real, this is the exact real footage of what it was like there, that's wrong, right? Because that's pure misinformation. That's kind of illegal.
Completely.
But again, it's differentiating between, are you using AI to convey a feeling, to tell a story, or are you using it to lie?
I'm just looking here. Will Smith responds to backlash at AI generated video. And he is saying that rapper, actively rap,
Like he slap everybody?
get AI out of your goddamn mouth. Basically saying in the caption, don't need AI for our crowds. So he's claiming they're real, but hey. But I know what you mean. Like, can you convey? I mean, it's like the same way conveying with CGI a story. Star Wars, you know, I thought about when you were talking about conveying a meaning or a message or a feeling with AI, and I thought about, okay, people with CGI. The last Star Wars films were terrible, all right? But you know the end of the film where, who's the lead star pilot, the actor, what's his name in Moon
Oscar
Knight?
Isaac.
Oscar Isaac says, "Oh, we're all gonna die. It's all over." He goes up to see a fleet of ships. Music kicks in, and you've got that feeling of, yeah, you know, that is completely not real. That is completely just something that's been generated to make a feeling. And
What?
I think you can do that.
I thought the ships were there actually. No?
Yeah, mate, heartbreaker to you. I didn't want to. But you know what I mean? I agree with what you're saying. Like, and I know that goes against what I said about actors creating a feeling with AI. But I think, yeah, if it serves your story, if it serves the arc you're going for and the certain emotional moment and the resonance, then use it. I've used it in the past. We've used it in the past for bits. You're using it for your YouTube to, you know, to help you tell the story. And it comes back to what we were saying about that Australian filmmaker. You know, if it helps you make a better film, if it allows you to tell your story within your budget constraints, adapt. Why not? I'm excited like what we've been talking about in my film. I'm so excited. I'm waking up every day going, oh, what else can I achieve? Oh, what else can I achieve? Sitting at my little 160 centimeter desk in my flat, thinking about I can tell a story like I never told it before. And that's what excites me. And I think that's how people should view it. It's a tool for enabling.
Yeah. All right, that was good. We took a journey here today going from, oh, it's effort. No, actually, it's not. It's people. Oh, it's real. Oh, it's not real. I think it's a very good topic to explore from both sides. So I think it's pretty good. Let's end it on this high note right now.
This is a high note? Oh, okay.
No?
I think it's. I'm just being a pain in the ass. I have no
As
AI.
always.
Is it real? I forgot to get an AI. Was it real? But who cares? Because you would have said it's AI anyway, and then the filmmaker would have to prove that it was real. So it all comes full circle.
Very good. All right. See you in the next one.
Ciao for now.